Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Black British Parent Podcast. And today we have a phenomenal guest, Shenuma Kashta. Hi, how you
Hi,
doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And please let our audience know who you are and what you do.
So, as you said, I'm Shenuma. I'm the founder of Prosper Platform, which is a website builder as well as co-founder of Kashta Center for Conscious Healing, a wellness center that I'm building with my husband,
Can you tell me a little bit more
amongst
about that?
multiple things.
Sorry, multiple
Amongst
things.
multiple other
Yeah.
things. Yeah, so Kashta Center is basically my husband and I bringing our life's work into one thing. We're both celebrants. We do weddings, funerals, naming ceremonies, baby blessings, and things like that, as well as like classes on healing, wellness, spirituality, mysticism, and that kind of thing. So we've finally put it all under one umbrella, and that's what the Kashta Center is.
Congratulations and beautiful.
Thank you.
What kind of sort of foundation is it based on? Is it more, I heard you mention spiritual, so is it more spiritual than religious, or is it?
It's not religious at all, really, because even when we deal with Christianity, it's the mystical side of Christianity. So it's a little bit more esoteric.
Okay.
More about principles, basically. Everything is based on principles of nature, and just how we can apply the principles that we learn in nature to our own personal development. So that's the ultimate foundation of the whole thing.
Well, I was just thinking we got deep in straight away. Deep. Okay. And tell us a little bit more about the Prosper platform.
Yeah, so Prosper Platform is my baby. How old is it? 2 years old, 3 years old now. It's an all-in-one site builder, so you can build e-commerce stores in there, sales funnels, websites, landing pages, all that good stuff. It's no code, drag and drop. So it's very easy to use. The point of me building Prosper, I actually happened into it. I'm not from a tech background, but it was just with the intention to make building online business as easy and as accessible as possible.
I don't know if I should say this, but I should really. We use Prosper platform, and it has been very easy and simple to use. I can't lie. I'm quite happy with the results. So thank you
We
for
love
building
having you on there.
and creating that. Before we start, we normally start with like a little icebreaker.
Yes.
Just one simple question. What's your favorite all-time movie?
My favorite all-time movie is Set It Off.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Why would you choose Say It Off? We can be stuttering. Why?
Probably because I've been all of those women
Back
one
probably
way.
now. Tell me
in
more.
one way or another. And you can even see like the bank robbing element as a metaphor. Like for how in life, whether it's because you've got a child you need to feed, or you're responsible for your siblings, or because you're bad and you're trying to do better, or what, you've got a job and you're doing the corporate hustle and it doesn't reward you with any respect, you have to take, because no one's going to give it to you. So you have to take it in life. And I think I watched Set It Off when it came out. So I was a kid. I used to sneak at night and put the blanket right over the TV and over me and watch it over and over again. I don't know why I loved it, but as I got older, I realized how empowering it is actually, even though no one comes out, well, one person does come out on top. But yeah, it's just about that. I think it's like there's an empowerment message in there.
Definitely a classic. I think one of the things that just struck me, obviously, the main thing is that it's for Black women.
Exactly.
That's just, yeah. It's unfortunate kind of storyline, but hey, I'm still for it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still for it. So, okay. That's a phenomenal film, though. I'm still stuck in it. I need to go and watch that again still. Yeah, so thank you for joining us on our platform today, on our podcast. I think one of the things I wanted to kind of touch on is the fact that you're a mum.
Yes.
And the fact that you're an entrepreneur and you've got many years of experience, whether it be being in social entrepreneurship or moving into this type of entrepreneurship. I think one of the things that sometimes we struggle with or find a bit challenging, find a bit challenging is a balancing act between being a parent, being a mum, and our careers, whether that be as an entrepreneur or work life. How do you manage to get that balance between running business and being a mum?
I get asked this question all the time. There's no such thing as balance. I prefer to see it as like a work-life blend. And definitely over the years, I've learned to prioritize my life more and more. The business will always be there. The work will always be there, especially when you're a creative person and an entrepreneur is a creative person. So you're able to make something out of anything. You build your business around your life. And I think that's the key. The key is knowing who you are, knowing how you work, knowing the type of lifestyle that you want to lead and building your business around that as opposed to trying to do it any other way.
That sounds, I mean, to me, that makes sense now, but I remember in the early stages hearing that'd be really hard to kind of grasp and put into play. What would you say to someone who hears that and are in the early stages of being a mum and running a business? How can they kind of make that more relatable for them, that kind of advice?
A lot of it is in your business planning as well. It's how you approach planning. If you approach planning with your lifestyle as the goal, as the metric, your business will just grow inevitably. If you know that by the end of the year, you want a new house, you know what kind of effort is going to be required for you to get a new house. If you don't really want a new house, you're not going to do what it takes to get a new house. So know what your markers are, and then you can apply that type of ethic to your business, knowing that the foundation is set in your household, in your family. If you know you need extracurricular money, then you work towards extracurricular money for your children. Or do you know what I mean? So it is really centering yourself. It's all about being self-focused. And I would say it doesn't matter what stage you're at either. If you're like pre-revenue, it's the same. So you know that you want a revenue generating business, but you don't want to leave the house every single day. What kind of activities can you do from your house to generate revenue? What kind of products can you create, digital products? What kind of trainings can you deliver? What kind of workshops can you do in other people's community from the comfort of your own home? Because you know you want to be there to do dinner or to do the school run. So it's productivity, yes, but also you're still moving the needle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate you because you've had a new addition to the family. How's that been?
Wow, amazing, my little potato.
Well, not a direct new addition, but kind of.
Yes, my grandson.
Yes,
I have a grandson now. It changes the dynamic a little bit because obviously it's not my baby. He's my grandson, and it's got that element of you can give him back that I always hear from the aunties and the uncles, but it's really like lit a fire under my backside as well, if I must say, because I had a vision for where I would be by the time I had grandchildren, and it's been sped up. So now, going back to those goals that I was saying before, it's changed them completely. It's not even a marker of the goals that I had before. It's completely different because he just mustn't see a certain quality of life. He mustn't even know that it ever existed. So yeah, it's definitely lit a fire under me. But his mum is amazing anyway. My daughter she's dope. She's dope. She's taken to motherhood like a duck to water. And that's not to say that's easy, but she's fully embraced it. And also, it makes it easier for me. It takes the pressure off of all of us. But it's a team. We're a good team. We all work well. Everyone's hands-on. So, yeah,
that's beautiful. Amazing. It's nice. And again, congratulations. What's it like being a grandma? It's still early days, yeah.
Yeah, it is. He's fresh out the box, but I gotta be real. The process of finding out that I was about to be a grandma was like...
Because you're quite young. Like, I'm saying quite... I mean, I know how old you are, but again, I can only imagine that other people looking at you, they wouldn't even imagine that you have children, let alone grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's the thing. I'm in my mid-30s, so... or mid to late 30s now. But it was like I went through so many feelings, and I think I've never heard any grandparents speak about what it is to become a grandparent. I only hear what it is to become a mother and how much you have to relearn yourself and all of the things that come with being a mother. But being I was like, first of all, I was not ready for this. Are we allowed to say that I'm not ready? But yeah, I wasn't ready. I still have so much life to live. I still have so much parenting left to do. My youngest is 7, 8, just turned 8. Am I allowed to not want this for myself? Not even for my child. I want her to see the world and be with her friends and do more, finish her degree. But also, what did I want for me? I was just like getting ready for quality time with my husband, Skyping them from the mountains in Tibet or whatever. I didn't bet on this coming this soon. So I think there was so many, and my friends, yourself included, like my friends I have really good friends. And I've had friends that have kind of helped me ignore it, and be distracted and live my own life again. And I've had friends that have sat with me for literally hours processing my feelings. And I honestly don't know where I would be now, because I wouldn't have had a clear sense of self if I didn't have my own personal support network. Yeah. And even now, I still have my friends that's like, I hope you're not taking over. I hope you're not doing too much. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Help, but don't do. And that's so, so important, that support network for myself.
I was just thinking, because being a young grandma and having your children be younger, having children, is not a new thing.
That's right.
And I'm not sure how we've adjusted to that kind of improving that situation. I don't necessarily mean not having young mums or being a young grandma, but I'm like, how we actually approach and address and deal with that. I wonder how that's changed for us now.
It makes me think of my own mum as well, because I made her a young grandmother, but I can't lie, I ain't thought about her once. Like, until it's now me, I did not think about that, like her perspective of that. And then the same for my nan, who's now a great-great-grandma. Yeah. She was made grandma young as well. So in my family, it's a pattern or a tradition or whatever. But I just never...
I think I'd expect that to be the same for a lot of families generally anyway, from allegedly ethnic minorities, should I say. Because I think, historically we kind of had children younger kind of thing until, I guess, more Western ways have been, I say that loosely, I don't know, maybe if you look at history and stuff, it might be a bit different. But yeah, okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. And again, congratulations to you and your family. Baby's beautiful, by the way. But yeah. So what generally like with well-being, what's some of the unique challenges that entrepreneurs, in particular mompreneurs, may face and how they can overcome them?
I would say one of the biggest challenges is definitely overworking. The sooner you learn to delegate, the better. Like in your business, I wouldn't advise like hiring quickly, but definitely learn to outsource some of the work. So like virtual assistants or robots, letting the robots do it. Like, me already, I'm let the robots do it. There must be some kind of automation or some kind of app or some kind of AI assistant or something that can take some of this load off of you, because no one's coming in your house to clean the skirting boards. No one's coming to look after your children when they're sick. No one's coming to do the work that's yours and only yours. So anything that can be not yours and only yours, let them do it. And even if you have to find new solutions over and over again, do it. Sign up, 14-day trial, cancel it. And I say this as a tech owner that would prefer that you didn't do that, but use it. They exist for that purpose. Yeah, definitely. Outsource, delegate, ask for help. Bring your people them. If you have, good friends. I know a lot of friendship groups, they don't even know what each other do, right? everyone is skilled at something, and there's someone around you that's skilled probably more than what you are in something. So if they can write a little email series for you, tell them, write me 6 emails, please. This is the topic. This is what you needed to do. You could even chat GPT it, and then have your friend say, can you edit this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Rope people in. If you're not surrounded by bad vibes, you don't have to hold your cards close to your chest.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So rope people in, even your partner. Let your partner know what you're doing. And I think as entrepreneurs, period, but mompreneurs especially, we keep our stuff until it's done. And we will get it done. We'll be up all the hours that God sends to get it done, and then be like, look, we did this. But tell people before that. Tell them before that. Let them help you.
Yeah, it's true. I think one of the things that women, mums, maybe any one of us really have challenges with is the asking for help. How can we get over that issue with asking for help?
Don't look at it like help. It's help. But for me, I can only speak for myself, is that it helps when I don't look at it as help. So if we are doing a thing, we've got a mission, right? All of us start our businesses or our purpose with a mission to solve a problem. Yeah. People have a problem, you have the solution. Do you all want to be a part of the solution that I'm providing? Okay, this is how you can be a part of the solution. This is how you can be and then you empower the people that are supporting you as well. You see their strengths, you see their excellence, and you rope them in to being a part of a greater solution, and you take yourself out of the center of it. When we're so focused on ourselves, we're focused on how it might look and, the shame and all the other things. There shouldn't be shame, but I'm speaking from experience. I know that there is shame attached to asking for help. But when you take yourself out of the center, and actually, wouldn't it be better if more mums had a side hustle or had a business that they can turn into a profitable enterprise? Yes, it would. Prosper does that. So how can we all be a part of this and be part of the solution? And I think that really helps when you reframe it into something bigger than yourself.
I think one of the things I wanted to ask you before that is what is the issue with us asking for help? I mean, you said you mentioned something about shame being attached to it. Can you elaborate a bit?
Well, I think it's like generational as well. In our culture, we inherit a lot of our shame. Sometimes we're shamed for things that we're not even shameful about. If you stop and think about it, like, that's not my shame.
Yeah.
I'm not even embarrassed about that. Do you know what I mean? Even like having a grandchild, before we started, I said, feel free to mention it. Like, that's not my shame. Whose shame is that? I'm happy. Yes, I'm in my 30s. I got my grandson. And what? It's a blessing from God to see myself reproduced twice. You're mad. Do you know what I mean? And so, we inherit it from generations of strong women, generations of don't let people know your weakness, and all of these things. But actually, who said it was a weakness? I'm not the best at that. You do it.
I guess for that time and era, it was a way of setting boundaries and putting them in place without necessarily having the tools to empower or strengthen what you're trying to protect, if that makes sense.
And it still is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just any and everybody that you let in to your business. You definitely have to be boundaried and have discernment. But at the same time, if you know you've got your people, and let me speak to women who don't have their people as well.
I was about to get into that. Yeah, that can be quite challenging.
I've definitely been unsupported. I've definitely had no support network. I've been a single parent, and that's a whole different dynamic.
And for those of us who are estranged from our families
estranged,
as well. Completely. So,
Yeah, so in that instance, a lot of it, it's hard not to say, try to build community. Like, where are we just shopping for a village? I'll have one of these. And it's not really
realistic.
Yeah, it's not when you're by yourself. But you find ways to, like, no one's going to break in your house as well, so you do have to go outside. So, but when you go outside, it could be like to rhyme time, or some stay and play or whatever. You will still speak to people who will let you know what they do, because people like talking about themselves. So when people talk about themselves, the key is in the follow-up. You follow up with them and see what it is that they like doing for themselves, they can do for you. They ain't got to know your business. They ain't got to come to your house. They haven't got nothing. You can deal with email if you want to, and still get support in little ways from the people that you come across within the community. And it could literally be, go to the corner shop and say, can I put this in the window? I know we usually pay, but you see me all the time. Do you mind if we just for a week, can you just put my service in the window? That's your community. They're right there.
Yeah.
He sees you every day. See, looking disheveled. The people in your corner shop have seen you looking a way that no one else has. Put this in your window for me, boss.
Yeah.
That's how you build community. It's not, I'm going to collect best friends. Not always. Not always. And some people are not your friend. But that's another conversation.
There is I really want to dig into that one. But yeah, maybe it's another time. But yeah, no, I hear you. And I think more time, you may not realize it until that moment when you ask, but people are willing to help.
They're so happy to help.
You know, the right ones anyway.
Yeah.
The right type of energy that you'd want that help from.
And the people who understand it. Boss man understands.
Yeah.
He runs a business. He gets it.
Hey family, we hope you're enjoying the show. If you want to stay up to date with all things Black British Parent, we've got the perfect way for you to do just that. Join our mailing list and be the first to know about new episodes, exciting news, and upcoming events. It's super easy to sign up. Just head over to our website and into your email. Don't miss out on the latest from Black British Parent. Join our community today. Now, back to the show. Daily routines and practices to maintain your well-being.
No, I'm joking. I do have a somewhat routine. I don't do routine by time. I do routine by the order that things are done in. So as long as today I've taken an hour for myself, which is usually between like 5 and 6 a.m. because I don't want to hear the noise. I don't even want to feel like the energetics of other people awake. So I'll take that for myself. Meditation, prayer, anything, little music, whatever I want to do, that's for me. Then in any order after that, I will wash, I will eat, I will make sure that my personal care is taken care of, and then everything else. I don't care what needs to come next. I'm not doing it until my things are done. And that's so important. Obviously, if there's a nappy bursting at the seams or whatever, you have to go and handle that. But bring it back to yourself for that time that you've taken for yourself. As well as Sunday, you're lucky if I move. It's like, is she alive? Like, I try to take as much time as I can on a Sunday. If I'm reading a book, that's my time to read it. If I'm studying something, because I study for joy, that's my time to do that. And then that's it. And I the children know this as well. Like, I've had a saying called peace and space in my house since forever. Anyone's allowed to say peace and space, and it means that's it. Don't say another word. Don't come back in the room. Peace and space, and that's it. We all have that boundary. So yeah, just little things like that, little traditions inside of your own home for your own well-being, so that you don't tell someone to F off. These are the things I would say. I think when you make it too structured, like routines and straight away something goes on.
Slip off.
Or you just hear it and you think, as if.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be like
how you'd imagine it to be. I think during that time as well, it's very quiet. It's not only is it quiet in the home, it's quiet outside everywhere as well. So yeah, I appreciate that. I think what I was going to say, based on what you were saying, for those of us who might feel guilty about that, how, what would you say to them? Because that hour away, especially if you've got young children, might be difficult to do,
Tell them. Like I said, tell them. I wrote the children in. They know, I'm a whole human. Beside being your mum, and even my husband, beside being your wife, beside being your mum, I'm a whole individual person. So in the same ways that you guys need your time, or you need time to play or time to whatever, I also need that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
burnout's a real thing.
They understand it. They're not stupid. Like they're very empathetic. No one loves you more than them. So tell them.
Of course, and I think if they've ever seen an opportunity for you to be burnt out at any point, I think that sight alone would be enough to make sure
Yeah.
that they don't allow that to happen again by giving you a space potentially.
Yeah.
You know, entrepreneurship can be stressful. So what kind of suggestions do you have for managing stress for entrepreneurs?
Meditation. Definitely meditation. Take time out to meditate. Like, we don't breathe, like in general, humans don't breathe properly. Take time out for breathing, grounding, like going for walks, these things. It doesn't have to be,
Something grand. It could be quite simple.
just very simple things. Take time to drink your tea, be present, feel the steam on your face. You know what I mean? So lots of mindfulness exercises are a game changer. Also, I like to meditate into tasks, deep work in the task, meditate out. So if I know that it's going to take me an hour to do something or 40 minutes to do something, it's 10 minutes in, 10 minutes out.
Yeah.
And then that's the time that I take to focus. And that really helps me as well with segmenting up my day. My calendar is set to not be able to book back-to-back meetings. So Zoom calls and stuff, there's a whole hour block. There's only so many that I can fit in a day. So incorporating wellness into your work-life routine really helps as well. I would say going to get support, get therapy. Get therapy. I really advise it. If you're Black, get a Black therapist. If that's what works better for you. I say this as a Black woman because there are things that you just haven't got the energy to translate, and that you can only understand if you too are a Black woman. Or even if you're spiritual, like for me, I have to have a spiritual therapist or someone that deals with more of the transpersonal aspect of therapy, because you're just not going to understand what I'm saying when I'm telling you that, where I'm gone. You know what I mean? Where I've gone. So just definitely self-awareness as well. Knowing when you need it. Yeah, knowing when you need it, recognizing what your needs actually are and being honest with yourself.
100%. I think one of the things is if you notice that you're slightly ajarred, pay attention to how you're feeling, why you're feeling that way. You snapped on someone, hold on, I just snapped on someone, and try to recall them thoughts back to where that feeling is coming from, I think.
And recognizing your triggers.
Yeah, that too.
There are some things that are triggers that you don't even know, like notification sounds. Turn them off.
Yeah.
These are the things that you can do to help just on the day-to-day.
Yeah. So we're saying self-awareness, planning.
Yes.
Meditation, outdoor time and space.
Go outside.
Nature.
Yeah.
Wherever possible. Good stuff. Some great tips. Thank you. So we mentioned before about community support for entrepreneurs. How can we support entrepreneurs more, particularly mums? How can we, as a community, show our support more?
Again, I think it's in using your own skill set, your own excellence. A lot of the times we think it has to look a certain way. You have to have your registered community interest company, and you have to have a place that people come to every week or whatever. And it doesn't have to be any of that. Whatever it is that you do, is there a way that you can offer some of that in support of others or in the community? If you can't afford to do it, can you subsidize it? Can you create a tiered system where someone on the higher tier, it subsidizes the ones on the lower tier? Could you use proof of low income or something to help in community? And then even if it's for every 10 coaching sessions that's booked, someone gets one for free. So put your name on the list if you want one of the free ones when they come up. Just little ways that you can take what you're already doing and help use that towards supporting others in community. You could have a physical business and you might be like, I can't account for that because I have a physical product. Is there another thing that you could do? Could you do a giveaway? Could you collaborate? Right now, I'm in a collaboration with one of my old friends as well, called Priscilla. She's the founder of Vivify Therapy. And I'm an associate wellness coach with Vivify. And myself and a couple of other people who have also collaborated with her are running workshops from September for entrepreneurs, actually. So I'm glad that you brought it up. Well-being for entrepreneurs workshops. And that's just our way of taking a little bit of time out of what we were already doing and offering it in service to the community. So
Love that.
Yeah.
Very inspirational. I think there's a lot of collaborations that do happen anyway, but it's beautiful when we hear them just starting to happen, because there's always room for more collaboration, I think. So parenting and leadership, like how has being a parent influenced your approach into like leadership and decision making in your business?
I think it's just because, and it sounds cliche, it's because I just have to leave the world better than I found it.
Yeah.
And no one lets you know that you want to leave the world better than you found it than your own children.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving them here. Like, God forbid.
Yeah.
Like, I need to do something.
It's real.
Yeah, and then also just legacy, full stop. You're going to know I was here. I was here.
I love that. I wasn't ready, but yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I wait to know I was here.
Yeah, I was here.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a massive drive, and I'm not sure I would have had that if I didn't have children and a grandson.
I think having children does change things. Although I meet a lot of people these days, younger people, all kinds of ages, who don't have children, and their drive is just
Off the chain.
Do you understand that? And I can see, like, it's a mad kind of contrast in terms of someone who doesn't have children and they don't have, let me say this carefully, I don't know if they don't have the responsibilities that's diverting perhaps their attention. They've got a full focus because they don't have any responsibilities like that, like having children or having, that sort of circumstance. So their drive can just be catapulted. But mums and parents, generally dads, they've got something to live for differently with their children. I don't know if that's a fair comparison.
I think it is. I think a lot of those children as well, some of them, saw their parents' dreams die in exchange for them being raised successfully or a certain way.
True.
And they're like, absolutely not. Like, I'm going to get mine. And I love that for them.
Yeah.
Also, they were raised by us, millennials. And I think because we come from a silent generation that was picnicacy and not heard and all of these kind of things, we rebelled through our children. And we're like, actually, be great.
Yeah.
And now they've got the stones to go out there and be great. And I love that for them.
Definitely, I love that too. It's true. It's real. It's been real. I think it's true what you say in terms of the coming from that silent generation. And whilst some of us might be still a bit quiet, but a little bit loud, a bit quiet, we definitely have allowed our children space to be a lot more louder.
Yeah. I think sometimes elders look at my children like mouth agape. Wow, what a piece of back chat.
Yeah.
But it's not back chat. They have a voice.
Yeah.
And they're allowed to use it as long as you're not rude. I want to hear what you've got to say too. And I'm not always right. Mm-hmm. So let me hear you out and we can...
Of course, and rude according to who and what, under what kind of, who can...
Under corporal punishment inherited by slavery. Okay,
yeah,
that's another conversation.
But it is true though, because being able to raise your children in a way or nurture your children in a way where they're able to at least confront you as their parent. I mean, you're their ultimate, what's that, the mega boss at the end of a game?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but do you get what I'm saying? So in order to be able to, I don't mean to challenge you on a basis as a parent in terms of being disrespectful, but being able to kind of push the boundaries as far as they can go. They're not necessarily going to have those experiences with other people. When they do, it wouldn't necessarily be a safe space because they wouldn't, you know what I mean? So that preparation from parenthood.
Exactly. And those safe spaces exist everywhere. Yeah. You know, I see it already. My son is just going into secondary school. And in year 6, he's done fine, this whole time whilst he was cute. The minute he's not
cute some more.
Yeah. All kind of passive-aggressive people were projecting their idea of what they think he is onto him. And if he didn't have a voice to be able to, and he's not, he's not any kind of bad boy or loud.
Hold
or
on, your
anything.
7-year-old?
Messiah, no.
No.
My 11-year-old.
Gosh.
Yeah. And he's no kind of rank whatsoever. Like, he couldn't, even if he wanted to. And yeah, they were doing all kind of projecting onto him, especially towards the end of primary school. And I was like, this is very interesting. But guess what? He knew it was coming.
Because you prepared
Because
him.
we prepared him. And he articulated himself in a way where, you know, you're not going to just mug him off. And I'm going to tell my mum. And you're going to have a conversation with my mum now about this. And that happens in the house. Like, I always say all children should be homeschooled children, whether they go to school or not.
Oh, no, I say the same thing.
Yeah. And that's where that kind of preparation happens, because the world is it's gonna come for them whether you want it to or not.
I hear that. Okay. So looking ahead,
Yes.
how do you see the future of well-being for entrepreneurs, and what kind of role do you see platforms like the Prosper platform? I want to say that more clearly, like the Prosper platform. I say the, and it's not the.
It used to be, that's why.
Yeah, like Prosper
we took
platform.
away the.
Playing in this kind of evolution.
I see the future of entrepreneurship looking like, to me, entrepreneurship is a political body. It is how we vote for the world that we want to live in. We create the things that we think are missing, and we decide, like, it's a big middle finger, and I really love it, even though it is the backbone of the same economy that props up capitalism, period. I think entrepreneurship is an opportunity for us to take control of community, to invest in it in a way that we want it, however we want it to look. So whether that's with tech and artificial intelligence or social community like online networks and things like this, we can build our own. We don't have to, we're treating things like social media like a government. Like you're either on one or the other and that's it, and there's no other options. We can build. We can build, we can invest in each other, we can create spaces. We can actually say, yeah, no, I'm not even involved, and bounce and do it for ourselves. And the more we do this, the more beautiful. We're doing it in film, we're doing it with the stories that we're writing, even like the decolonization of ancient archaic systems like psychology, and when it comes to mental health and things like that. I love that stuff. I live for it. Yeah, man, rewrite it, because that's not how it was in the first place. When it comes to mental health and healing, or even spirituality, what they call psychosis, if you were where you were supposed to be, you might have been a shaman. Do you know what I mean? So how do we now take the knowledge that we've got from whatever institution? We can have universities. If it's illegal to call it a university, call it something else. We can do these things.
Yeah.
And that's why I love that we're getting older and we're making more children that only hear that. There's no blocks. They only hear we can do that ourselves. We can make our own cars. We can go to space. We can do that. And that's how I see the future, is limitless.
100%. When we are doing that, I swear recently there's a little boy, a young man, he's made a soap that cures cancer or something of that nature. Yeah, soap.
Oh.
I think he's from some part of Africa. I'm not sure, but I saw it come from my feed.
Come on.
But yeah, I 100%. And again, I'm speechless, because these are things that I normally say. So I'm just letting you say it. It's like, it's not like I know it already, but it's lovely to hear. It's refreshing to hear it from a different kind of mindset, a slightly different kind of mindset, I say. And we need to hear these things more often, I think. I think our young people need to hear it more often. We need to be able to have this kind of information or these thought spaces out there. So at least if we're not listening to it of ourselves, we can actually share it with our young people, and they can, evolve with that information. But Shen, it's always a pleasure to be sharing space and time with you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please, if you do have one, can you share a message with our listeners, Black British Parent?
What would my message be? I saw something the other day that said the opposite of depression is not happiness, it's expression. And I thought that's such a powerful reminder of how important and essential it is that we just express ourselves. Just be your real, true self and express yourself. however that looks. Make music, create art, sing, dance, whatever it is. Just create and express yourself is the key.
Thank you so much,
You're
Shen.
so welcome.
Please, before we go, let everyone know how they can get in touch with you and your business.
I am Shenuma Kashta. You can find me on all the social medias. And my business is Prosper Platform. That's prosperplatform.io or kashta.org. And that's how you can find out about my businesses.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode, and take care of yourselves until next time.